Welcome to the First Unitarian Society of Milwaukee's online worship service. I'm Reverend Jennifer Nordstrom, and I'm honored to serve as the First Unitarian Society of Milwaukee's senior minister. We welcome people of all genders, sexualities, ages, races, ethnicities, histories, and bodies. We welcome your mind, your heart, and your spirit. We welcome all you're bringing with you today and all your heart longs to set down. We'd like to pay a special welcome to guests who are joining us today. If you're visiting for the first time or joining us from afar, why don't you say hello in the chat now and tell us where you're joining us from? I welcome everyone into our worship service by inviting you to repeat our first church mission after me. We gather to nurture the spirit, engage the mind, and inspire action. Let's go now to our beloved sanctuary to light the chalice, which is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. Today is the second Sunday of our annual pledge drive, which will end with a celebration on Sunday, March 27th. At our in-person services this morning, Phyllis Drake is sharing a testimonial about her 58 years as a member of this congregation. We are so grateful for those 58 years in community and for all of you with us right here, right now, making community in new ways. Thank you so much for making pledges to continue to create community with us. Pledges allow us to make a budget for next year and to keep providing the ministries of pastoral care and social justice and worship and religious education and small groups, both online and in person. If you can, please consider increasing your pledge this year. We're asking folks to consider an increase between 5 and 10% depending on your capacity. If it's not feasible for you to increase your pledge this year, we completely understand, and we're so grateful for whatever you're able to give. Every single person's contributions, including non-financial contributions, create this community. If you need a waiver for your pledge this year, do not worry about it. Just reach out to our membership coordinator and have a conversation. But if you can make an increase, please do. You should have received your pledge drive materials in the mail last week, and you can make your pledge on the First Church website, uumilwaukee.org. You can mail back in your pledge card, or you can drop it off at church. Your support will help us continue to provide the ministry that our members, friends, and community needs. It'll help us turn the technological corner into this new era of church that's happening online and in person simultaneously, and it will help us stay on track financially. And if you get your pledge in this week with a photo, you will be part of the Pledge Drive music video next week. Thank you all so much for your support.
From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment
I'm sorry to share with you the news of the death of one of our members. Betty Gedke died peacefully at home on Sunday, February 27th, 2022, with her son John by her side. She was 95 years old and had been a member of First Church since 1986. In lieu of flowers, donation in Betty's memory can be made to Lawrence University in Appleton, Wisconsin, or to the League of Milwaukee Artists. The family intends to hold a private celebration of her life at a later date. It is our congregation's practice to light the candle of life whenever we have a birth, an adoption, or a death among our members. Today, we light our candle of life in honor of Betty Gedke.
Good morning. My name is Paul Kozadowski, and I'm delighted to be here to serve as your worship associate. This is the story of a song. On April 26, 2020, dozens of performers and musicians gathered to celebrate Stephen Sondheim's 90th birthday. Because of the pandemic, they gathered in a virtual concert. Broadway had gone dark 6 weeks before. The songs were performed from singers' living rooms, kitchens, fire escapes, and even bathrooms. It was called, appropriately, Take Me to the World, after one of Sondheim's songs. The host, Raul Esparza, sang it as the final song of the event. I've been a fan of Sondheim all my life, but this song was new to me. It comes from a 1966 TV musical about a poet who takes up residence in a department store for the sake of his art. He meets others there who have retreated from the world for similar reasons. He falls in love with one of them, and in the song, she asks him to join her outside of their self-imposed cloister. I took this song deeply to heart, of course. We were 6 weeks into complete quarantine. It was real, and it had consequences. My decades-old weekly gathering with friends at a coffee shop stumbled into an awkward and irregular online gathering. My love of theater and concerts found itself squeezed into the space of a TV screen in front of a couch. My weekly trips to Chicago for a book discussion group with wonderful friends were now walks into my office to sit in front of a Zoom screen. But this shrinking world was an opening of sorts too. My son Joe came home from college, and his work and life experience became part of my day-to-day experience. My wife Kathy began working from home, and her work life became more real, more entwined with my own routines and daily rhythms. We gathered for dinner at home every night. Admittedly, these are small personal dividends to a time of terrible global suffering and turmoil. And like many of you, our family was not protected from the pandemic, which touched us directly through illnesses and deaths. It brought our family together in different ways, but it couldn't help but push me into a kind of solitude. At times, I welcomed it, burying myself in books or writing projects, making deep dives into music, bread baking, cooking. I began playing piano every day for the first time in years. I took glorious solitary walks. I clung to words of inspiration, filling a corkboard wall at home with printouts of poems. As Margaret Renkel wrote recently in a New York Times editorial, we are creatures built for joy. And I was determined to keep it alive in my life, even through the forced introversion that came with the pandemic. I'm more or less an introvert by nature, so I thought I had a leg up. But the ideas, emotions, and flashes of beauty that I experienced in those months lay fallow in the relative isolation. Then in late November 2021, Stephen Sondheim died. Testimonies and tributes were everywhere. His music was everywhere. A few weeks later, my son gave me a lovely Christmas gift, a sheet music collection of Sondheim songs that included Take Me to the World. And the curious song that gave me a ping of solace and satisfaction 19 months before became much more. You can find the video recording of Take Me to the World online, the one I saw at the dawn of the pandemic. Listen to it, and you'll find that it doesn't naively celebrate the world as much as it celebrates the people who embrace it. It captures the longing to emerge from solitude, but also acknowledges the fear and frustration and challenges of living in the world, fears and challenges that are all too clear today, even as the pandemic recedes. It longs for the world in all its beauty and painful reality, but also the need for companionship, for community, for experiences that are shared. The world it dreams of isn't experienced in solitude on a computer screen. As the song says, it's a world where I can walk for miles with you.
Faith is the bird that feels the light and sings when the dawn is still dark.
Oh, faith is the bird that feels the light, the bird that feels the light, that feels the light. Oh, faith is the bird that feels the light and sings when the dawn is still dark. The bird that sings and sings when the dawn is dark, when the dawn is dark. Faith is the bird that feels the light. Oh, faith is the bird that feels the light, that feels the light and sings, that feels the light and sings, that feels the light and sings and sings and sings when the dawn is dark. Oh, faith is the bird that feels
The light and
Faith is the bird.
sings when the dawn is
Faith
dark.
is the bird, is the bird. Oh, faith is the bird that feels the light. It is the bird that sings when the dawn is dark. And sings when the dawn is still dark.
Faith is the bird that feels the light and sings when the dawn is still dark.
Oh, faith is the bird that feels the light, the bird that feels the light, the bird that feels the light.
In late February, Russia passed a law cracking down on media sources reporting on the war. According to the Russian news website Meduza, it forbade Russian news sites from using the words attack, invasion, and war when reporting on the Russian attack, invasion of, and war on Ukraine. Still, several Russian news sites persisted in covering the attack as an invasion, including TV Rain, who covered the war on the television news in Russia. On Russian TV, many state-sponsored or aligned pundits denied that there was an invasion at all, while others minimized its importance. Regular Russians aren't entirely sure what to believe. Some have protested the war. Some support what they are thinking of as a small military operation, while still others have said that they never heard of it. The courage of the news media, who have continued to be honest witnesses to the war, matters. In mid-February, only 45% of Russians supported recognizing the Russian-controlled territories in southeast Ukraine, according to Levada Center. Even fewer than 45% of Russians support a full war against Ukraine. Last week, though, Russia cracked down on these news sites, and it shut down TV Rain because of Rain's coverage of the war. Then last Sunday, the entire TV Rain news staff walked out live on air as their last newscast. The founder of the station said that they didn't know where or when, but they hoped to be back on the air at some point. Their final words before leaving were the anti-fascist slogan, "No pasarán," which means the enemy shall not pass, and "No to war." Definitely no to war. And then the production staff helped the news anchors take off their microphones and exit the set quietly as it faded to black. To be a witness is a powerful act. It challenges dictators and fascists. It undermines the march to war. It threatens powerful lies with the quiet whispers of truth. To be a witness is to give testimony to life, to attest to what is true, to what has happened, to what is happening right now. To be a witness creates change. Witnessing is a powerful act in our lives. It creates change at the international level of TV Rain's resistance to war, but it also vibrates power in our everyday lives. When we are grieving, sometimes all we want is a witness, someone to just sit and be present with us. Witness brings comfort and companionship to the worst experiences of life. When we are celebrating, sharing the celebration with others compounds the joy. In every sports movie ever, the hero's victory comes in a crowded stadium with people cheering and screaming. But the movies somehow find a way to get a cheering, screaming crowd into less obvious habitats too. You can find heroes' victories in courtrooms and press conferences and hallways and musicals, of course, and high schools. We know that the heart soars higher the more witnesses there are. But witness changes real life too, all the way up from the international level down to the quantum level, to the very stuff we are made of. Experiments in quantum physics have shown that observing reality changes it. In the 1990s, theoretical physics demonstrated that observation affects reality. In one experiment, the Weizmann Institute of Science set up a computer observer, a witness, of electron particles moving through one of two openings in a barrier. This observer's capacity to observe could be either increased or decreased, but it didn't affect the electrons in any other way. Now, I just want to name for a moment that electrons can be really weird. They can behave either as particles or as waves. And when they're acting like waves, they can be in two places at once. According to the scientists in the experiment, the electrons are capable of, quote, simultaneously passing through both openings in the barrier and then meeting again at the other side, something that they call interference. But they can only do that when no one is watching. If someone is watching those sneaky electrons, then they act like particles rather than waves, and they can't go through both barriers simultaneously. In the experiment, the scientists set up an electronic observer at the entrance to one barrier, and sure enough, when the electrons were being watched at that entrance, they behaved like particles, and there was less interference on the other side of the barrier. In fact, when the scientists increased the level of observation, the interference on the other side of the barrier went down even further. The more the electrons were observed, the more their behavior changed. To be a witness changes things. It changes the present and the future. It changes reality at the quantum level. It changes reality, though, in a way that is nonlinear, a way that's kind of mysterious. Witnessing an event doesn't necessarily change its outcome in a linear way, in a way that we can control and make what we want to happen. Being a witness to our friend's cancer treatment, for instance, does not ensure that the cancer treatment will be successful or that the cancer will go away because that's the outcome we want to see. But it does create change. It increases the support our friend has while they're suffering, and it increases the connection between their life and ours. It might strengthen the bonds within the community of care and help our friend know that they're not alone. That would affect their quality of life and their relationships with their other loved ones. It would affect their family's sense of being held in the web of larger community. And in the future, who knows what that will change? Maybe our friend's child will go into a helping profession, or maybe two members of the larger community who are both in caring roles will become lifelong friends. We don't know exactly how the change will unfold, but the act of witness brings more love, more care into the world, which rolls out in the present, but also into the future. Sometimes witnessing is all we can do. And I know that that can feel helpless. We might want to be able to control what is happening, be able to fix things, but we are not all powerful. We're not in control of world politics or cancer. We're not even in control of the behavior of electrons. We can't dictate the outcome of events. We can't control the way that we want them to happen, but we can affect them. We can bear witness. We can be present. We can speak the truth about what we see. It may not feel like enough when we really want to be able to wave a magic wand and just fix everything, but it's still powerful. It changes things, even at the quantum level. It changes things at the level of the human heart. It changes things at the level of political reality. TV Rain's coverage of the war didn't stop the war. It didn't control the outcome, but it did give truth to everyday Russian people and courage to people wanting to protest the war. And who knows how that act of witness will change the future. Maybe there's a future Daniel Berrigan or future Nadezhda Tolokonnikova, a future Malala Yousafzai or a future Greta Thunberg watching out there and learning about integrity and courage and truth-telling in the face of power. We cannot do everything. We cannot control outcomes, but we will do what we can. We will witness. We will witness this world. We will witness each other, and our witness will change things right now and in the unfolding, mysterious future. We are one another's witness in this world. We attest to each other's existence. We are each other's proof that we have lived, that we are living still. We are the testament to our survival. I want you to take a moment right now and let the other folks here online with you know you are here, you are alive, and then give your witness to them and their life. So just take a moment right now and type in the chat, I am here. I am here. Let the other folks know you are here. I am here. Now take a moment and respond to the other folks in the chat who are testifying to their existence with your witness. Respond to them in the chat now, right? I witness you. I witness you. I witness you. Faith means believing in something, even if it cannot be seen. Witnessing means telling the truth about what we can see. Both of these, faith and witness, are present in our community. We haven't seen each other during the pandemic, but we still believe in each other. We have faith in each other, and we can witness to each other and our survival virtually right here, right now. We are each other's witness, our living testament to our survival. We are here for one another. We see each other. I witness you. Amen. And may it be so. It has been a blessing to be together. May you go out from here nourished and renewed, and use that to choose to bless the world. Until we meet again, may you be held, may you be healed, may you be whole. Blessed be, and amen.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going. We know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Whoa, yeah, yeah. 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 Whoa, yeah, yeah.